potential account receivable end from those care plans that converted, it looking at those numbers, it ranges closer to about 25,000. With those individuals that came in.
Okay, so here we are. I have Dr. Adam Mead with me. This isn't going to be such, super professional, like his video testimonial or him talking about things, but I just wanted to go through some things. You're looking at this video because you're considering our program. You're thinking, are they as good as they say they are? I'll let Adam do the talking for us. And so maybe if we can, Adam, thanks for coming on with me.
Yeah, not a problem.
If you can, man, just tell us about like your first week trial, because for you we did a free week trial. We might not forever, so this might be outdated eventually, but we did a free week trial. What did that look like for you? Was that good? Was that bad?
Yeah, it was surprisingly very good. Just from my experience, it's been really. I tried to throw my hat in at running some Facebook ads myself, and everyone said, but the big runaround was that it felt very unproductive, and so I kind of pulled back. But I realized it was kind of time to maybe find someone that had that was their specialty and kind of put some investment towards that. But your offer seemed obviously very enticing, so obviously there was nothing to lose, and I really wanted to see how this would work. But yeah, in that first week, just looking at the numbers, we had at least 8 people, schedule appointments in the office during that time frame, which would have been 8 people that never would have made it to my office, period.
Yeah.
And it was always good to wake up in the morning and sometimes see that like 2 people had opted in and scheduled. So it's like getting new patients while you sleep. So definitely that was a plus from that standpoint.
That's cool, man. I appreciate that. Did you have any hesitations, like thinking about even starting that first week?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of things, and especially if this is speaking to other chiropractors, a lot of marketing always sounds too good to be true. And a lot of companies, and I know speaking with a lot of colleagues, they'll jump into marketing campaigns to optimize their website or do Google ads.
Yeah.
And you kind of locked into long-term contracts, and they always seem to over-promise but under-deliver.
Yeah.
And that's a common thread. A lot of people just feel burned, by marketing programs from that standpoint. So that was a hesitation just jumping in,
Yep.
The far majority have under-delivered and never really pulled through on their end overall. So yeah, that was definitely in the back of my mind.
Totally. And I appreciate the honesty and continue to be honest, man. And that's why we initially had that offer, right? As you were with us for that first 7 days, was that potential hesitation to move forward for another month or maybe even longer? Was that starting to be kind of eroded away for you?
Yeah, definitely. I was, because I've heard of individuals saying like, yeah, we're getting leads in through Facebook. I'm like, how's it working for them? But, come to find out they're not doing it themselves. They're using, people that specialize just like yourself. So I'm like, it definitely made sense. And yeah, that hesitation started to definitely fade within even the first couple of days, seeing those opt-ins and just the market that I was missing by not using any Facebook advertising. So.
Cool, man. Appreciate that. And obviously you are a client of ours now. Maybe I'll just 2 or 3 more questions, unless you wanted to touch on anything else that I have for you to make it kind of quick. But in terms of like quantifiable ROI, I think that's super important for anybody in any business to look at. What are they spending to get? What are they receiving, right? Are you okay to share some of the numbers with us as to what you've seen so far?
Sure. Yeah. Well, like if you look, even say it like, and it depends how you run your, everyone runs their practice slightly differently with the type of maybe care plans, visit plans, whatever you have set up. But just for my office alone, if you were to say at the low end of a care plan being around $1,500 all the way to $2,500 to $3,000 from that standpoint.
Yep.
Looking at the potential account receivable end from those care plans that converted, it looking at those numbers, it ranges closer to about 25,000. With those individuals that came in. So if your systems are good on your end and they're coming in from your end, it definitely is a win-win situation overall. So I would highly recommend, like I said, you're missing the boat if you're not using Facebook to get new patients into your office.
Yeah, so. and not just recreational using Facebook, but using it with the strategy, right? That's awesome though, man. You said $25,000. You've been with us for how long? A month and a bit?
About a month now or so, give or take, with that.
Month and 2 weeks, I think.
A good steady stream. We're always, as we're looking at like the stats and numbers, you don't realize how many people are interested in your services who just even check out the ad.
Yeah.
Seeing when you look at it in just a short month, there was even say 400 people that just even checked you out. You're like, wow, there was a bigger interest out there for these types of services and what we have to offer. And then of that, even if like a quarter of those are at least then opting in,
Yeah.
and those booking, then if we're getting a good booking rate of say even 40 to 50%, those numbers really add up month to month. But these are people that I didn't realize I was missing out on, and people watching this video, it's shocking to realize that you just have this untapped resource that you're literally missing out on.
Totally.
So I don't think there's any chiropractor that doesn't appreciate new patients. They typically say new patients solve all problems in some aspects of practice, and so you have to diversify your office. As I would say before, what most chiropractors they'd probably rather run their head over a cheese grater than be at a mall booth all weekend long, or at a craft fair or a home show. I mean, those do produce. I'm not saying take that wheel out of some marketing techniques, but you'd rather be home with your families and having more time to do whatever you want to do. That's the type of freedom I know this type of marketing can at least start providing in practice.
I love it, man. Well, I think I'm gonna have to like put you on salary, and you're my new spokesperson.
Sure.
You're doing the selling for me. I love it, Adam.
Yeah, well, and I know there's and not shamelessly plug this, but obviously there's a few other guys out there that I've recommended and that are seeing results too. That were just like same hesitations, have plugged probably several thousands of dollars into marketing programs, thousands into Google ads, and thousands into having people run their websites, and just seeing little crickets at the end of the day as far as response and what they're looking for. And they're like, wow, this works, and a lot of people are kind of kicking themselves, as I would, because I've heard of people using this for at least the last 2 years or so, and just it didn't work a few times on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm sold that Facebook is definitely a way every chiropractor has to be marketing their practice.
I love it, man. It's kind of like the gym doesn't work analogy, right? Where it's you probably just didn't go and work the gym, or you didn't have a trainer, you weren't on the right meal plan.
Sure.
Those types of things, right? Facebook advertising. Obviously, I don't think it's much of a disputed fact that it does work now. So that's awesome. And you alluded to one thing, and this was my last question for you. Is how likely would you be to refer us to another chiropractor, if at all? And I know the answer, but I'll flip it back over to you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's something that, like I said, everyone has to put into their marketing program if it doesn't exist already, and if they've tried it on their own. And most of us don't have the bandwidth or the expertise. It's not a hat we should be wearing. It's definitely far better it's a better investment of your time and your money to use a service like this versus trying to tweak it, monitor it, versus all the other better things you could be doing with your time.
Totally.
So,
I love it. I love it, man. I appreciate that. And by the way, you have recommended it. You're not even only to chiropractors, which was 3 recommendations, but also to somebody in the they have a gym, right? And so we're going to start a trial for them, which is fun. But anything else you want to say? Any closing remarks, Adam?
Oh, no, I mean, just kind of hitting on those same highlights that if they're not using Facebook marketing, jump on it. Definitely schedule time to speak with you. I'm sure you'll put some links to whoever they're watching right now.
Yeah.
And take advantage of this offer or this program, because it changes your practice.
Cool. Awesome, Dr. Mead. I appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yep, thanks a lot, Aiden.
Thanks.